Good morning. This is Frank with the Morning Quick Shot, brought to you by Trade Stockers and Ninja Pro Traders. It's Thursday, March the 2nd. It's about 6:45 Central Standard Time. So let's get started. Looks like we had overnight open about 23.92.25 area right here after just a little bit of drawdown after all those that big move yesterday. And as you can see, we just kind of went and pulled down overnight low right around 89.50, and we're still just kind of made a couple touches there, moving our way back up to the open price, just trying to cross the 24-hour VWAP at this point. So where do we go from here? You would think we would kind of have a little easier day today, but who knows? We got unemployment at 7:30 this morning Central Standard Time, so we need to see what that's going to do and see how the Trump rally is going to continue, or are we finally going to take a pause here and let everybody regroup? So let's take a look. If we hit this open at 92.25 here, pull back to this zone for a double bottom right here at this support level at the top of the zone, possibly even down here for a triple, then we can push our way back up and work into a long scenario. However, let's say we continue to just fail right here and consolidate and eventually break down. As we break down below this zone, look for the bottom at about 87.25, coming back up to retest up here at 89.50, and then continuing back to the downside. As we roll down here, look, we got a ways to go down to this 82 level to retake some of the gains we had yesterday. As we move down, look for the move, like you said, 87.50, a little bit of a pause, but then it should just come all the way down and drive down into this next level at 82.25 down to the 81 level. Look for a bounce back up to about 84. And given a situation where we are and what's going on, we could get a big reversal right here and bounce straight back up. Okay, so be cautious of that. As we start to move down, again, if it hits this zone, retraces at 83.50, then look for the market to continue on down. We got other targets down here, somewhere around this 73, 72. But yesterday's we had a good support zone here in this 77 area. So be sure and watch that as it comes through here. It might decide just to pause in here, regroup, go back up to this zone, and then come back through and then back down to this zone right down here at 73. So keep an eye on that for sure, okay? Now as it comes back here, we could come all the way back down to yesterday's open, 64. We had a low of 63.25. Now that's not very likely, but that's with this market the way it moved yesterday, we could get this bit pullback and see what happens here. So here is definitely the bottom for the day if we ever manage to get down there. Not likely, but we could. So keep in mind the 74 right here or this 82 probably key reversal areas to push this back up. Now let's look to the long side. If we stay up here, cross above this open again, look for the touch at 23.94. Come back to test the VWAP in this open, and then push up into this zone. And you can see we're going to have some consolidation in here as it gets into that zone. But what it has to do is break above it, probably around to the 98 level, come back and retest right in the 95, possibly even the bottom of this zone, and then last buy is possible down here at the 93. So wherever it ends up here and it starts to rotate, this is your buy entry. First target, this next zone. Might have a pause mid at 98, but we eventually get to this 2400 again. Going to be a tough area to get through, guys. So look for kind of a triple top in this area and a pullback, a lot of consolidation, maybe even a consolidate this whole zone in here. If we can manage to break through this zone to 24, look for it to pull back, test this. It's got to hold this 2401 up into the next zone. After that, the same thing. Go up to the zone at 24, pull back just a little bit, come back up and just through a point, point and a half, test this zone, back up, and then we're going to go into the 2411 and 2416. Now let's talk about the major moves that we could possibly get into with market profile for the big picture. So let's change our workspaces here just a second. All right, you can see the move yesterday as we came across. We're right up to the 127 on this 4-hour chart. Right up to that 127 extension. We talked about it. We've been talking about it for a week. We hit it. We're getting a little bit of pullback. So we'd like to get this pullback just a little bit and come back up and retest this and punch through. However, we could pull all the way back. to this 2370, but more than likely, like we were talking about, this 83, which was a zone, the 79, that 77 area, pulling back into this area, pushing back up, and then closing above the 2399 area. Once it does that, we can head to this 2414, 2435 area. Pullbacks in between here, just watch those. On a daily time frame, you can see this big move straight up. When I draw some other extensions and retracements up here, as you can see, based on that move now, we could project possibly up to the 48 level. We still have a level here at 26 to hit on the 161 off that previous move, but I went ahead and drew in some extensions now, so we've got upper targets to look for. They seem kind of far away, but the way this market's been grooving, maybe they're not. So you could see some of the pullbacks and possibilities. The 38.2 is right in line with current moves. 50% lines up just perfect, and the 61.8. So these are our possible rollback areas as we retrace. If you have any questions, contact Frank at TraceTalkers.com and have a great day.